You have tuned into WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist, and this is Big C in the morning. This is the Friday morning show that starts your Friday morning and your weekend early. And oh boy, how you guys doing today? I've got a lot to talk about today, but before we talk about those topics I have for today, I'm an only man here now. Yeah, no guest today. No guest this week. So yeah, I know you're probably sad that there's no guest, but it's fine. It's fine. We're totally cool. We are good. We are good. I finally found some new topics to talk about, and yeah, it's all good. And also, this is the 10th show. Yes, this is the 10th edition of Big C in the Morning. I did not know we would get to 10, but hey, we did it. Well, yeah, we did it. We did it. If I said I would be like so insulting. So yeah, we did it, guys. We made it to 10 shows. Woohoo! All right, and another thing. Today is the 19th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. That happened in New York, Washington D.C., and in not Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania. And over 2,700 people lost their lives, and it was a very, very sad day here in America. So I thought we take a moment of silence and remember all the victims and all the first responders who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001, today. So I ask you to remove your hats if you're wearing any, and please join me in a moment of silence to remember all the lives lost today, 19 years ago. Thank you. Alright, now it's time to get into our topics today. So, first topic I would like to talk about is the Big Ten and how their shenanigans are going too far here. Cause, the Big Ten, the Big Ten, the Big Ten, the Big Ten. The Big Ten. Excuse me, I did not know that sneeze was coming, so, yeah. Yeah, so the Big Ten, they just can't seem to get it right here, folks. They just cannot seem to realize what we are going through. They can't figure out a plan, and they can't really get any of any of the teams from the Big Ten who don't want to play football in. Like, seriously, it's getting annoying, and I've been learning this through one person that I follow on Twitter, and he's a content creator. His name is Sir Yacht. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Sir Yacht, but yeah, apparently he's a content creator. He's got 30,000.2 followers, like 30.2 thousand followers on Twitter. Um, and apparently he says he has a source inside like the Big Ten that's giving him updates. But honestly, Sir Yacht, he's a content creator, and he's not like a sports reporter. So, do you think we should trust guys like that? There's a question: should you trust content creators instead of say like a news reporter, a journalist, a sports journalist? Should we now be considering trusting these content creators on giving us updates on sports? Let me know in the comments. Because honestly, this Sir Yacht dude, he kind of wants to bring my hopes up and then make my hopes smash into tiny bite-sized pieces. Like seriously, there was one tweet saying, "Oh, we're definitely having a season," and then one tweet, "Oh no, sorry, we're not having a season," and then again, we're having a season, and then oh no, not a season. Then they say, "Oh, the White House has been contacted and stuff. We'll contact the Big Ten," and it's been an on and off going thing, and no disrespect to Sir Yacht. I think the man is hilarious. He has some hilarious videos out on Twitter and on TikTok. He's also a TikToker. Um, but yeah, Sir Yacht. I don't think he's like a certified news journalist or certified news reporter. I would love to see where he got his journalism degree. But he's probably gonna use that famous catchphrase that NASCAR driver Kevin Harvick says, "I don't have a common sense degree. I have a wait, no. It's I don't have a journalism degree. I have a common sense degree." Uh, but I don't know. I don't know what he'll say. But yeah, Sir Yacht, he's. I honestly don't think that he should be in this kind of stuff. He's a content creator. Content creators create content for all their fans. Like seriously, what if Charlie D'Amelio, one of the biggest TikTokers on TikTok, decided she's going to, I don't know, report on, I don't know, the Olympics. That wouldn't be such a smart idea because she doesn't. I don't think she knows anything about the Olympics or something, or she might not know the stuff. See, sometimes if you put content creators in like big situations like Sir Yacht's doing with the Big Ten, it won't make any sense and they will just, completely flop. I think it's going to be a complete flop here. But I think what Sir Yacht's doing is working a little bit. I'm not sure, but it's working. I think. I don't know. So I'm going to read some tweets he said from 11 hours ago. So here's one of the tweets from 11 hours ago. Commissioner Kevin Warren's call with the Big Ten coaches today was to apologize for how this whole situation was handled, and that presidents and himself are trying to find a way forward per source, according to Sir Yacht. And then says likely why many Big Ten coaches have been vocal as they feel there has been enough time for presidents and Kevin Warren to have made a plan. That is agreeable right there. They should have thought about a plan a long time ago. A long time ago. See, this is the thing. Like content creators sometimes are a little untrustworthy. A little untrustworthy. But with Sir Yacht, I think he's telling the truth. I mean, it's not official. I mean, we don't know who his source is. We really don't know who his source is. It only says a person inside the Big Ten. So who is this guy in the Big Ten that's giving all his sources? Like, seriously. We don't know. We need answers, people. We need some serious answers here. Like, seriously. I do not know what's going on here. It's weird. So, then he says, like 48 minutes ago, this was like 48 minutes ago. He says this morning Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren will take one last informal vote among the Big Ten presidents to see who wants to play in October and who does not want to, per source. And he said multiple sources yesterday said, okay, so sorry, got distracted there. Sir Yacht says multiple sources yesterday said Michigan and Michigan State were changing course and are going to play in October. Interesting to see where they land today. Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this whole Big Ten thing. So apparently Michigan State, Northwestern, Rutgers, and I think Illinois, they didn't want to play. Those are the 5 Big Ten schools that did not want to play. Like, seriously. Are you kidding me? Michigan and Michigan State, they are football schools. They are literally football schools. Northwestern is somewhat of a football school. Rutgers, somewhat of a football school. Illinois, somewhat of a football school. They have, like, very successful, football programs, but I just don't know. I don't know why they decide to, like, say, oh, we're not going to play. I think I know why Michigan didn't want to play. They didn't want to play because, they didn't want to lose to Ohio State for the 9th time in a row. That's my hypothetical guess. They didn't want to go up against the Buckeyes for a ninth time. So yeah, that's basically my, guess. That's my own prediction. That they didn't want to, go up against Ohio State and then get dropped 100 points on them. That's my guess. I really wanted to see Ohio State drop 100 points on, Michigan, because that would have been funny. That would have been funny. It would have been the most hilarious thing I have ever seen in my life. Seriously. It would have been. It would have been. And then again, Suryat says there are already 8 teams committed and playing and want to play in October. We should have a very good idea where this all pans out early today. Source again says Michigan is huge today, especially for Ohio State and the game, but Big Ten teams are okay going forward with 8 teams. I don't know. If Michigan doesn't want to play, that means you basically gave Ohio State a national championship. You basically gave Ohio State a national championship. If Ohio State plays with the 7 other Big Ten teams that want to play in October, guess what's going to happen? Ohio State will win the Big Ten championship, and they will go to the playoffs, and they will win the national championship. With or without Michigan, with or without Michigan State, with or without Northwestern, with or without Rutgers, and with or without Illinois, because who cares about those schools? Nobody. Nobody cares about those schools because they're just like, that one, person that's like, oh, that seems a little dangerous. I'm not gonna go over there. So you guys can go over there. I'm just gonna stick around back here. So yeah, they're that kind of person. They are that kind of person. So yeah. So I think, I don't know if you guys saw Trust or not, but I do. I mean, it's kind of a long stretch here. It's kind of a long stretch. It is really kind of a long stretch. Now moving from the Big Ten, I want to talk about Ohio State. Yeah, I'm talking about Ohio State for probably like the 50th billionth time, but I feel like it needs to be addressed. So, Ohio State's been in the Big Ten since 1912. And they have been around for 108 years. They've been in the Big Ten for 108 years. They've been playing football for about for almost 131 years. Well, actually, yeah, 131 years right now. And they didn't. So they started in 1890. Didn't join the Big Ten until like 1912, which was over 100 years ago. So, another question for you guys: should Ohio State leave the Big Ten and go independent or join another conference? That's what I want to know. Do you think Ohio State should leave the Big Ten and join another conference or just completely go independent? That's my question for you guys. Here's my thing on it. If Ohio State does not play football this season, I think that Ohio State should leave the Big Ten. I really do think we should leave that the Buckeyes should leave the Big Ten, because other leagues are playing now. I mean, we had the American Conference. I mean, the ACC was already playing. Yeah, I saw the Miami Hurricanes play against Alabama Birmingham, the University of Alabama Birmingham, last night. I saw a score there. It was 14-7 at halftime. I saw the Miami Hurricanes of the not the American, but the Atlantic Coastal Conference play football. That is just embarrassing. If I was a Big Ten coach or a Big Ten, athletic director or maybe a Big Ten president, I'd be very embarrassed right now because and even seeing like teams from the Mountain West and the American Athletic Conference, they're playing football. If I was the Big Ten commissioner, I'd be embarrassed. If I was Big Ten coach, Big Ten athletic director, Big Ten president, I'd be embarrassed as well. Because they're already playing football, and you're not. You're sitting around and waiting to get the go-ahead. They should be starting to play football like right now. Because if you start in October, that kind of hurts your shot at a possible, playoff spot in the playoffs and a chance to play for a national championship. Seriously. And the AP poll's not going to have, all those Big Ten teams in the polls. So basically, if they start in the middle of October, they're going to be unranked from the polls. So the Big Ten might not have any people in the playoffs. They might not have any teams in the playoffs. It'll probably just be the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12, and maybe the American Athletic Conference in the playoffs, because Cincinnati, that's kind of one of the only... Cincinnati and Memphis are the only dominant teams now left in the American Athletic Conference. So yeah, it's going to be SEC, Big 12, I'm getting fast. ACC, Big 12, SEC, and maybe the American Athletic Conference in the playoffs. If not, maybe an additional, Big 12, SEC, or ACC team in that top four. Because if you do not have another Power 5 conference like the Pac-12 or the Big 10 in, that just increases everybody's chance of getting into the playoffs. Like, seriously, it increases everybody else's chance in the playoffs, and it's just not right, people. It's just not right. So if the College Football Playoff Committee does not put any Big Ten teams in the playoffs when they start October 10th, and the playoff rankings come out sometime in November, if there are no Big Ten teams in those rankings, then the Big Ten is automatically out of the playoff contention. Seriously. Like, why? Why? If you have this problem, guess what's going to happen? Some of those Big Ten teams that finish behind the Big Ten champion, they're going to be at-large teams. So the playoff committee is going to have to decide where to put these at-large teams in a bowl game. And hey, maybe some of those teams who are not in the Big Ten, who are also at-large teams, they might get left out of the playoffs. And that's kind of not fair. So you could possibly see, a BYU team go like maybe 9-3 or 8-4, become an at-large team, and guess what happens? Guess what happens? They don't make a bowl game. Because you got teams like Penn State, Minnesota, Wisconsin. They have better records than, BYU. And now, BYU can't play a bowl game. Can't go to a bowl game, even though they may have finished second in the conference or they won their conference. They can't go to a bowl game. Sorry, you can't go to a bowl game. See, this is why it's flawed. It's very flawed. We got a comment from my mom, or it could be my dad. Who knows? They say Ohio State should stay in the Big Ten, but why has the NCAA not stepped in and said either everybody plays or nobody plays? I think the reason why the NCAA wants to stay out of this is because they don't want to, get into a shouting match with each of these conferences. Because, honestly, if you were the NCAA commissioner right now, and you said, "Oh, everybody needs to play, or you can't play," there will be some colleges having a shouting match, like, "You better make us play, or we will leave the NCAA, or we will abolish you." Like seriously, it's that simple. It's really that simple, people. I think what the NCAA is doing is smart. Now, you may call me crazy, but it's smart because they don't want any of their colleges, getting angry, and they don't want, the NCAA to be, abolished, like depart into thin air. So please don't don't abolish the NCAA. So now we got another comment from my mom or my dad, who knows. Isn't that their job to make sure they all follow the rules? Yeah, but with all this COVID stuff, the NCAA is turning into the XFL. Do whatever you want. Do. So yeah, the NCAA is now the Extreme Football League. Kind of. They're not really, but kind of. Just kind of. So if Ohio State decides to leave the Big Ten and becomes either independent or they just want to join another conference, here are these top three conferences that I believe that should be good for the Buckeyes. Number 3 would be the American Athletic Conference. And the reason why? The American Athletic Conference does not have a lot of, tough teams out there. They might have Memphis and Cincinnati, but that's not enough. If you want to have a strong conference, get a strong team like Ohio State. Because, I think the Buckeyes do have a strong team, and they could actually compete against these guys from the American Athletic Conference. So, yeah. Number 2 would be the Big 12. Obviously, some of their Big 12 teams have obviously fallen apart, like Kansas, Kansas State, Texas, all those schools that used to be good in football that are now trash at football. I think if Ohio State joins the Big 12, they could have a run for all those other schools' money. And hey, they could probably make them better. They could probably, force them to do better. Force all those Big 12 schools to do better. But that's my thing. And then the number 1 conference that I think Ohio State should join if they decide to leave the Big 10 is the ACC. Because if they join the ACC and Notre Dame decides to join the ACC for football next year, now I'm not saying it will happen, but I think if, Ohio State joins the ACC and Notre Dame sees it like, okay, I guess we'll join the ACC then. Because Notre Dame, they're actually in the Big Ten Conference, but not in football or any other sport. Well, actually one sport, and it's hockey. They're in the Big Ten for hockey because the ACC doesn't have, a conference for hockey for some odd reason. So yeah, another crazy idea. Ohio State join the ACC and having Notre Dame join with them. Because honestly, that would be cool. Notre Dame versus Ohio State it'd be a big old rivalry game. And also going up against Clemson, we can start a rivalry game right now. We could actually start Ohio State and Clemson rivalry. Like seriously, Ohio State's lost 4 times to those guys. 3 of them ended in interceptions. But if we verse them in the regular season, I think we take them down in the regular season. So yeah. But yeah, that's just my reasoning. Or Ohio State can just fully go independent, destroy every team in the Power 5. Like, seriously. I think Ohio State would win a lot more championships if they were if they were independent. Because it's smart. It's very, very smart. Alright, so I'm done ranting about Ohio State today. So, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, oh boy, the fall TV schedule, how it's getting shorter, and why it's not looking good for some of these TV shows that are getting canceled or ending. So, yeah. All right, let's take that break. This is Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. Now let's play you a great song. Let's play It's You by Brian Alban.
It's you, 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 you. It's you, 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 you know that I try to be hard like a rock. You know that I try to act like I got it on lock. It's depressing and wrong that you had to go away, but I've been thinking for the past few days. You used to say never leave me. Oh, you used to say never leave me. And I was so proud to call you my baby. And all I do is think to myself. And all I do is sing to myself. It's you, 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 you. It's you, 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 I try to stay calm, but it ain't easy. I'm dying inside cause you left me. You used to hold me down when I looked into your eyes. Pretty little girl with a perfect size. You used to say never leave me. Oh, you used to say never leave me. And I was so proud to call you my baby. And all I do is think to myself. And all I do is sing to myself. It's you, 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 you. It's you, 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 take from this what you will, but I promise I'll make it better. I'll do whatever. Take from this what you will. I'm telling you, I'll make it better. I'll do whatever. It's you, 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 it's you. 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 Baby, it's you. It's you. You, you.
We are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artists, and this is Big C in the morning. And I just realized something. I forgot water. Wow. But I haven't been coughing lately, so yay, I guess. Huh? I don't know. But anyways, now to on our second topic. Oh boy, the fall season has sprung. Well, kinda. It's not yet fall, but it's soon getting to fall, and that means it's time for TV shows to get canceled or end. So yeah, TV networks have been canceling or saying they're ending shows. So I thought I'd just talk about some of these shows that I feel like need to be recognized. Now these are some of those shows that I have picked that are ending or getting canceled or have been canceled already out in the blue. So yeah, and if you want to know what shows have been canceled, you can just look it up. Just say 2020 shows that have been canceled, and there should be like a big old list of shows that have been canceled. So I'm going to start out with a big one here. The Walking Dead. Yeah, The Walking Dead that has been going on for like 10 seasons. The people who run The Walking Dead, AMC, also known as American Movie Classics, they said that The Walking Dead will end with season 11 and it will end in 2022. So yeah, 2022 is when The Walking Dead is finally over. So they're going to run a 24 episode final season. And it'll start in the fall of 2021 and it will go through the beginning of 2022. Don't know when it will officially end in 2022, but my guess is somewhere in the spring, probably March or April, that The Walking Dead will end. Because usually shows end like in the spring sometimes. But yeah, I think it will end in the spring. If not, maybe this summer. So yeah, don't know how they're gonna divide all those 24 episodes. Some say it'll probably be a three-part season with 8 episodes, or it'll be a 2-part season with 12 episodes each. So yeah, a big shocker right here. The Walking Dead is going to be over. So does that mean that the zombie apocalypse is over? If The Walking Dead is over, the zombie apocalypse is over. I mean, The Walking Dead, they have been famous for like their comic books. Like it was a comic book, then it got turned into a TV show, and then it got turned into video games. And the video game series ended. I think the comic book series also ended, so it's best to end the TV show now. So yeah, once like the video games stop, then the comic book stops, and then let's just end the TV show all there together and rest it in peace. So yeah, honestly, I have not watched any episodes of The Walking Dead. Yeah, boo me, people. I have not watched The Walking Dead. Yeah, boo me. I want to hear all the boos in the comments. Because The Walking Dead is a zombie show. It's a zombie type show. Now, I'm actually into zombies. Like I played like Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Those are zombie shooter games. I'm also into the Call of Duty zombies, like the zombie modes for Call of Duty. If you haven't played Call of Duty Zombies, I am sad. Because I happen to like those Call of Duty zombie games. I also like other zombie games like Left 4 Dead. Basically any zombie game that involves destroying and killing zombies is pretty cool. I like zombies. But I sadly I have not watched a zombie movie. I have not watched a zombie TV show. So yeah, I've never seen, Cesar Romero's, Dawn of the Dead or Walking of the Dead or whatever. I've never seen any zombie movies, okay? Never seen any. Never seen The Walking Dead. So just boo me, people. Just boo me. Like right now. Boo me. Boo me. It's totally fine. Totally fine. But yeah, Walking Dead's ending after 11 seasons. Season 11 will start in the fall of 2021 and probably end sometime in 2022, probably spring or summer. Adult Swim. If you don't know what Adult Swim is, it's basically the nighttime version of Cartoon Network. So when Cartoon Network goes off the air, Adult Swim jumps in to for the adults, all those adults who still love cartoons. So yeah, I think it comes on at 10 at night. So yeah, Cartoon Network shuts down at 10, brings in Adult Swim for all those adults out there. And a pretty big shocker for a popular show of theirs, the Venture Brothers, they got canceled after 7 seasons. They were originally going to do an 8th season, but I guess Adult Swim canceled it after they, said, okay, we're just gonna pull a move called a pro gamer move. Yeah, they did what was called a pro gamer move, and they just completely canceled the Venture Brothers. And a lot of fans are sad. I saw a lot of people freak out on Twitter, like, oh my god, why is this happening? Ah, something like that. And yeah, that's crazy. Because I know Venture Brothers was a really popular show. I never watched it, so yeah, again, boo me if you want to, but I just don't care. I really don't care. Um, oh, here's a show that everybody, well, some people will thank the Lord for this. Keeping Up with the Kardashians are ending the show after their 20th season. Yes! Thank you, God! We will now have to stop looking at them. Like, seriously, we won't have to see their terrible TV show anymore. Now, I know they say they wanted to end the show because, they're, famous on social media and stuff and they got their own things now. But, oh my god, it should have ended way before that. Like, seriously, this show somehow was way longer than any other, reality family show, like family reality show. And honestly, I thought Ozzy Osbourne did better. The Osbournes did better than the Kardashians. Because seriously, the Kardashians are they're not that entertaining. I'm sorry. I may have watched only one episode, and I was like, well, watched like part of one episode. And I was like, boring, and then I switched it to video games or ESPN or maybe Nickelodeon because they just don't critique my interest. They do not critique my interest. Seriously, they don't. Excuse me. They're the coughs. So yeah, basically the show's ending. It's gonna be off the E Network. And speaking of the E Network, E News got canceled. Yeah, because COVID and stuff. But I bet nobody was. You know what? Ugh. Excuse me. I don't think anybody was watching that. E News it's not that cool. So yeah. But yeah, everyone was kind of shocked about that. But honestly, I don't think they were shocked because wasn't really popular. Was not really popular. So yeah, other TV shows that got canceled on ABC. Schooled, the spinoff to the Goldbergs, that got canceled after 2 seasons. Honestly, I feel the reason why that got canceled is because it wasn't really the Goldbergs. Because Schooled was like something. I don't know what Schooled was. I think it was supposed to be like following one of the characters in the Goldbergs, like in like 10 years or something. And I feel like the reason why Schooled got canceled was because of how confusing it was for the viewers to watch. That's something about spin-offs. If a spin-off happens, you have to make it make sense. If you don't make it make sense, if your spin-off does not make sense, you're basically going to get canceled. So other spin-offs like take Happy Days for example. That is like the spin-off king. It spun off Joni Loves Chachi. It spun off. What else? What else? What else? I think it spun off Mork and Mindy. I think it actually did. Yeah, Happy Days spun off a lot of shows. Like they had many spin-offs. Like Happy Days is like the spin-off king. And it's all because of this one guy named Gary Marshall who did all those spin-offs. So yeah, but obviously some spin-offs can really be successful. But some are, and they are amazing works of television. But some spin-offs, they might not be so good. So yeah, honestly, if you want to do a spin-off, make sure it makes sense and make sure it's entertaining for the TV viewers to watch. So yeah, other shows that got canceled. Marvel's Agents of Shield, which is like a somewhat of a superhero TV show. They got canceled after 7 seasons, but I think the story is they actually got canceled after season 6, but they brung it back just to end it, like officially. So yeah, that Marvel's Agent of Shield is canceled. I've actually never watched an episode because all it was just regular people, no superheroes. Honestly, if there were superheroes in that, I think a lot of people would be watching it. But since it was just regular people, just people working at S.H.I.E.L.D., it was boring. So, yeah, if you want people to be impressed, put some superheroes in it. Like, seriously. How do you think, the DC universe is going on with their TV shows like The Flash, Supergirl, don't know what other superheroes, and they're on like the CW, and look, they're surprisingly going well. So Marvel is taking some oofs here, oof. So yeah, Marvel, oof. Well, I think it's because Marvel's owned by Disney. Wow, thanks Disney, you own everything. Yeah, Disney is the one that owns everything. They own Marvel. They own ABC. They own ESPN. They own a bunch of stuff. Disney is the monopoly of monopolies. Seriously, they are. But back to TV shows and TV shows getting canceled and ending. Criminal Minds is ending after 15 seasons. So if you're fans of Criminal Minds, you're probably sad now. Honestly, Criminal Minds is a bit of a scary show. Like you see how like gruesome some of the murders and the fight scenes are. That's something you should always watch with somebody else. And besides, I think when it would start to take its tolls when one of those actors got fired for like going on a meltdown or something. I think that was the reason why. So yeah. And two other TV shows, a comedy and like a drama for CBS. Those shows are Broke and Tommy. Those got canceled after 1 season. I think Broke got canceled immediately after they aired the first episode. Like, CBS was like, okay, the ratings are not doing so good for the first episode, so we're just going to cancel it right now. So yeah, Broke got actually canceled after they released their first episode, but they continued to let season 1 play out. And then they canceled it. And Tommy, which is like a cop show for some reason, I think it got canceled just because of what has been going on in the world, or that it just did terribly. It just did terribly. My guessing is both. I'm going to say both. But yeah, moving on. Comedy Central. Now, Comedy Central has got me just so disappointed. Two shows that I have enjoyed in my lifetime. Drunk History. They got canceled after 6 seasons. Now, Drunk History, it's basically what Drunk History is basically people, get drunk and tell a historic, story about historical figures and historical events. And it's literally so funny because I feel like that's actually how it went down. How some of the stuff in history went down because, man, it's funny. It is really funny, but, I feel sad that it got canceled because it was basically a web series. Then it got picked up by Comedy Central to be a television series, and then it started to make its way over to England, London, England. Well, basically all of England, which is the United Kingdom, if people don't know, and Mexico. Yeah, Mexico has their own version of Drunk History. And it's really funny. It's really fun. Now only Comedy Central has South Park. Oh, they only have South Park. That's basically their moneymaker right there. Seriously. And also those roasts of celebrities. So yeah, celebrity roasts, and South Park. Now this Comedy Central show that got canceled is very disappointing. Very disappointing. Tosh.0, that show where he shows clips of people on the internet doing crazy stuff, that got canceled after. So here's the story. Comedy Central renews Tosh.0 for 4 more seasons, so going over to like season 16. And then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, we're gonna do a quick 360 around here and cancel ya." So yeah, basically, they reversed their decision to renew him for 4 more seasons and just straight up cancel him. And so the show is going to air sometime in December and then end in November. So yeah, they canceled it out of nowhere. They literally canceled Tosh.0 out of nowhere. Like, I liked Tosh.0. It was funny. I mean, some of the stuff was really weird and really confusing. But to be honest, I don't think Tosh.0 deserved to be canceled. A lot of these shows that have been canceled or ended already shouldn't have been canceled or ended. Because honestly, they could have find out new ideas for these shows or something like that, and just experiment with it. If it doesn't work, then go back to the old formula. See, that's the reason why there's a specific rule in television and in film. You should always remember this rule. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Because if you touch something that's not broken, you fix it, it's gonna just completely dismember and just fall apart and just be out of obscurity forever. Because I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to Tosh.0. And if you cancel a popular show like Tosh.0, I'd be worried if I was South Park. Because South Park has been going on for like almost 25 seasons. And if South Park... I will be surprised if South Park bites the dust in the next few years. Seriously. And I heard like the creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they want to do more movies. So I think when they said that, I think South Park might end next year, might not, maybe happen next year, or in the next coming years. Who knows? Who knows, people? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Alright, so that's it for me talking about TV shows and stuff, and how they are getting canceled or ending. I think it's time we take a break. And when we come back, I'm bringing back the good old Friday shoutout, because it's been a long time since I did one of these. So yeah, Friday shoutout coming up next. So yeah, this is Big C in the Morning on WUDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artist. And now let's get a song here. Here's Rolando Divine with I Can't Explain.
explain to you why. Cause I so fully cry. I'm slightly out of order. Cause it's you that I'm hurting. I can't explain to you why. That I so fully cry, y'all. Cause I'm slightly out of order. And it's you I'm hurting. Every moment's a bearing of my soul. Vision sideways, I'm out of control. And you just watch me crash. I found falsified reasons to recreate a place where I could be. Only thing I recreated lately is my own damn tragedy. I can't explain to you why. Cause I so fully cry. I'm slightly out of order. Cause it's you that I'm hurting. I can't explain to you why. That I so fully cry, y'all. Cause I'm slightly out of order. And it's you I'm hurting. It's painful and aggravating. My miscommunicative conversations made it seem if I lie. But I flooded you, beloved, with all my intentions. Somehow, some way, somehow, we both lost our concentration. And this is why we can't work it out. I can't explain to you why. Cause I so fully cry. Yes, I'm crying. I'm slightly out of order. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Cause it's you that I'm hurting. I can't explain to you why. I can't explain that I so fully cry, y'all. I'm crying. Cause I'm slightly out of order. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I don't wanna be to blame of this. And I don't wanna blame you for this. But I guess somebody's to blame, yo. Listen, yo. I'm a man, I'ma handle it. And I turn this something scandalous. But it is, I guess what it is. I can't explain that. I can't explain to you why. Cause I so fully cry. I'm slightly out of order. Cause it's you that I'm hurting. I can't explain to you why. That I so fully cry, y'all. Cause I'm slightly out of order. And it's you I'm hurting.
We're back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artists, and this is Big C in the Morning. Alright guys, so our Friday shout out, it's time for it. Friday shout out. So this week's Friday shout out will go to my alma mater, Westerville South High School, because tonight, Friday Night Football, they're going over to their rival, Westerville North, to play some good old football. It's a good old rivalry game, and honestly, this is basically the biggest rivalry in all of Westerville. Now, some say South and Central is the biggest rivalry in all of Westerville, but since, South and Central aren't playing this year, and it's just North and South, guess what? South's about to rule the Ville back to back. because they're not playing Central this year because, you know, COVID pandemic, obviously, strictly a conference schedule. So, yeah. And I know that Central and South are both in the OCC, but they're in different divisions. I think Central is in the Central Division and South's in the Capital Division. So, yeah. Basically, I'm rooting for South here because South, I think they lead the series. They should be leading the series. If not, I'm wow. But yeah, I think South is leading the series. I don't know what the series score is, but this is the 46th meeting between these two teams ever since North was built in 1975 and they started playing football. Oh boy, it's been a ride. And seeing all these players for South, they've been doing extremely good. They dropped 50 points on Big Walnut. They literally dropped 50 points on Big Walnut. If that doesn't explain to you how good this Westerville South team is, then I don't know what will convince you. Because I feel like Westerville South has been, ever since they lost their former head football coach, Rocky Pantello, back in 2014, since he got fired, and they had to help rebuild that program to where it was back when my brothers played football for South under Rocky Pantello, because Rocky Pantello was a great coach. He was an amazing coach, and basically one of the most famous coaches in Westerville South history, probably one of the greatest coaches in Westerville South history. And honestly, Westerville South has basically brung back their program from obscurity. They beat Central and North last year to rule the Ville, and they're about to rule the Ville this year. So yeah, I do believe Westerville South will win against Westerville North. And my final score prediction is, now they're both undefeated. They're both 2-0. Obviously, North is trying to become, relevant again and, try to get up there. But they're gonna have a good old fight there, and I think Westerville South's gonna win 42-38. They're gonna win by 4 points. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be one of those very close games that I have seen in recent memory. It's gonna be really, really close, like down to the thread or the needle, whatever that quote is. But yeah, I do believe my alma mater is gonna win against North, and I wish all those South players, those Western South Wildcats and the Western North Warriors, good luck, and may the best football team win. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for Big C in the Morning. Now, next week, I might have a guest, I might not have a guest. You'll just have to tune in to find out. Yeah, tune in to find out. Please. Please do. I enjoy your company. So yeah, this has been Big C in the Morning on WUDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artists. My name is Big C, and I am out of here. I'll see y'all next week. Have a great weekend, and yeah, stay safe.